TheorySabers.com.
Friday,
I was
Saturday,
really
he'll be there.
disappointed with the way that Maul looked in Solo. I think they made him look a little too old. Yeah, that looks great.
He's like a young Maul.
Yeah, he looked like he was coming apart a bit. You know, I was like, "Is that Ray Park?" Like, it just did not look good. He's like having a rest in his chair, and he's like, "My lightsaber. I'll see you guys later." I'm like, Jesus Christ.
It was dumb when he grabbed his lightsaber and turned it on. It was like, okay, like that's just purely talking to the audience at that point.
Okay, I've got a big question for you guys. Who do you prefer? Steven, is it Serafinowicz, you know, the original voice of Maul, or Sam Witwer?
I like Steven.
Same. I like the repressed rage. I like the almost dignity, the contrast of the dignity compared to how unhinged he is, like, and bloodthirsty. I feel like Witwer moved into the bloodthirsty too much. He was very cartoony. Kenobi. And I'm like, oh, gosh. This guy's getting off on Kenobi.
Yeah, little.
See, I thought I was sexually frustrated. Why am I just broken, dude?
I liked Sam. I felt like he really illustrated the mental shattering of Maul and how he was like no longer the assassin that he aspired to be, but he really is broken. And when he sort of speaks with the shakiness in his voice, sounds almost uncertain at times. I like Sam's. Yeah, his Palpatine is a little off. Sam Witwer's Palpatine is off.
I don't like his Palpatine. I never did. Him as Starkiller is the best, obviously, but that's just his regular voice. He's got a great voice. I just think, his Palpatine just doesn't sell it for me. His Maul is fine, I guess. It is what it is now, but I liked the original. I thought he was the best.
What was some of the projects with the original Maul voice actor?
I don't know, but just that like those two lines in the film, I just feel like it just sounded very.
He's a British comedian, and he's very, very funny. Of all things, he was in The Office in a stint for Parks and Rec, but mainly I've been watching him as the Tick live action, like 2013 on YouTube. They're just uploading near full episodes, and he's hilarious. The Tick was obviously I loved the cartoon as a kid, but he's a very talented dude, and the fact that they filmed it with the original Maul voice, Serafinowicz, and then he went to go to the premiere. Did you see the clip where he's like, they didn't call me and they just used Witwer instead? That would have been brutal.
What
telling
the heck?
The kids. Yeah. So Disney let him do the lines, and then he's like, hey, kids, want to see Daddy as Maul again, like 20 years later? And they're like, okay, only if Disney doesn't screw you over. And he's like, oh, they won't. And then they screw him over, and he's like, you'd feel like such a fool. That's show business, I know.
So he recorded lines for Solo?
Correct.
The understand?
Okay. I didn't know
it's on YouTube. And then they just didn't use them, but they didn't tell him. And so he was like pumped to go to the premiere, and then it's Witwer, and he's watching Witwer on the screen feeling like a dickhead because he thought it was him. Yeah. I'll find a clip while you guys are talking.
Yeah, because I can't share audio on my stuff for some reason. I don't know what's going on.
Is he so it wasn't Ray Park that did the voice in The Phantom Menace. He's the guy that says, soon we will have our revenge.
Yeah,
have you heard Ray Park, dude? It's like David Beckham. Like, he's very high. It's very British. It's not like, at last we shall have our revenge. It's like, at last we shall have our revenge. Like, totally different.
A little bit too excited, Ray.
He is an amazing physical martial. Look at me backtracking because I don't want to be a dick. But, it's like David Prowse. Prowse was an amazing Vader.
Yeah,
he was his voice. Darth Vader. Mm-hmm. Yeah, not right.
Are you finding the clip? Is there an actual clip of him voicing the lines? I didn't know this. That's pretty cool.
What can I say? Sometimes I know things. Not much, but when it happens.
You know things, Dash.
You don't credit yourself enough.
Credits will be fine. No, they won't.
Oh, yeah. So what do you guys make of all this Vader going back to Tatooine to kill Watto business?
Didn't he do it in Legends? Annie. He did it in Legends, right?
Annie.
Annie, she was insatiable, Annie. She went to the Raiders herself. Imagine, no, I'm not going to do the thing. People just always talk about it. I loved your wife, Klieg Lars. She went picking
That's
mushrooms.
Pretty good.
Mushroom tips, sand people.
Oh my god!
You know what the end of that skit was going to be?
No.
It was going to be
Dash.
Like, she dies, and then it cuts to A New Hope, and then the Sand people go attack Luke, and they're like, "Hey, this is Skywalker, Shmi's kid. Remember that sound she taught us?" Best clip.
That's why I'm here.
I have.
Oh, brother.
Wow.
I wrote the whole thing. Obviously, I pulled out from like creating it for a reason because
You pulled out?
You guys are great.
Now this is pod racing.
Shit, dude. They're gonna ban us from MegaCon after this.
Once again, you've proved if you'll excuse me.
Jeez.
What? I put the hood on, and Darth Dash only says wild stuff. Therefore, it's a character, so I can like absolve myself.
You can claim you have schizophrenia.
Yeah.
And that it's not actually you.
I got the clip up, by the way. If it's a 3-minute clip on Collider. Let's go. Ready?
Yeah.
Peter, you know, one question I want to ask you before we get out of here today too. We have a little more time, but just because I know the fans would get mad at me if I didn't. Were you ever contacted for Solo? Because you know they have Darth Maul that pops in at the end. You're famously the voice for Phantom Menace.
I was.
And did you turn it down?
I didn't.
Oh.
I didn't. I was like,
You make it full
I was
screen.
really. I was like, wow, okay, cool.
Yeah.
How cool to bring this character back, and like, you know, Ray Park was doing it, and it was all secret. I went in and did it.
Oh, you did the lines.
I did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
In what capacity? You mean
The whole thing.
You
right?
actually filmed all of it?
I
he's
You
the
did
voice.
VO?
Yeah,
but
yeah,
you
yeah.
did, like,
I
recorded it?
recorded
Wow.
this scene. I went to I went to, where was it? Whatever studios, Pinewood Studios it was, and I was on the set, and I spoke to Ron Howard for about half an hour about the character and like what he'd become, and which was 29 minutes more than I spoke to George Lucas about the character 20 years ago. Just make him sound evil. That was it.
Was
But
that
then
really?
what
Was that
happened?
really the note?
That was it. Yeah. And so I did it, and it was all super secret. Like Ray Park was coming in the day after, and to film the actual physical thing, and they had to bring him in a blacked out limousine, and there was like an area of the set that was like off limits to everybody, and you know, it was all secret. And anyway, and then I was excited that this film was going to come out, because like I was going to take my kids and their friends, and it'd be like, I've got a secret. I mean, I told my kids, you know, but it'll be a cool thing. We'll just go with your friends to see the new Star Wars film, and then your dad's in it, you know, and then it was a couple of days before I got a message.
It was like right after the premiere.
It was, and I was like, I saw it on Twitter that there were people at the premiere. I was like,
You weren't invited to the premiere?
I was not invited.
So you didn't know up until after the premiere?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I got this email saying, we're sorry, but we actually changed the voice actor to the guy who plays him in
Sam Witwer,
Sam Witwer, and which is kind of fair enough, you know. And they said it was like better for the continuity of the thing, but it was a bit disappointing.
Of course, no, I understand. Yeah, I mean, I think that the reasoning obviously makes sense, but still, to not learn about it until after the premiere is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Did you go see it?
No.
No.
I boycotted
That's
it.
cool.
Yeah, I was on the news and everything.
You were in the news for boycott.
He had a picket line.
There we go.
He had his kids working.
I dressed up as Darth Maul.
Not my Maul.
Right, not my Maul.
Not my Maul.
Yeah.
Not my Maul.
That's funny.
He definitely would have pulled off an older Maul really well. I bet Lucas would have called him back if they had moved ahead with his sequels. Sure.
I think he's more monotone. I think Sam has more emotion, but it really comes down to the directing. I mean, I'm sure he could put more emotion into it. As far as the voice goes, I feel like his voice is it's better, I think.
It's definitely more menacing.
It is, absolutely. I just realized that he's the same guy that's in Couples Retreat. Just funny.
Yeah, it's really good, really funny, really versatile. The John Wick, obviously, the
he's
tasting
great
man.
in John Wick.
Yeah, yeah.
He's in
just
John
a
Wick.
talented dude. Yeah. He does.
he's the-
Would you like a tasting, Mr. Wick? And shows him the guns. I'm like, where's the cheese board? Why do you call it a tasting? It messes with me so much.
Yeah, he's the arms dealer.
That's how you know that
Oh
I'm
yes,
like,
you're right.
I'm just
Right.
such a fat bastard that I'm like, where's the food? I can't, like, it says tasting. I'm like, no.
Stop
where's
with the
movie
food
ever?
analogies.
Yeah, just give me the food.